All right, everyone. Well, good afternoon, I guess it is now. Thank you all for tuning in. This is just a little winter sports information session for those of you that couldn't make it last Friday. I know the slot was an early one, but we wanted to try and get kids before they went home for the weekend, um, and before they fully left campus for the weekend. So, for parents that couldn't make it, parents and guardians that couldn't make it, this is for you. For kids that couldn't make it, this is also for you. I promise I'll be super quick. Just a few things to sort of go over before the winter season starts. So, without further ado, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Mr. Urban. For those of you coming from the middle school, or if you're a new transfer this year, I am the athletic director here. I've been here for 6 years now, and looking forward to another successful winter season. I'll let you guys sort of use this time here to get your phones out and sign into today's meeting. Just scan the QR code here on your phone. This is by no means a registration link. This is just to sort of gauge interest and kind of let coaches know what we're looking at for numbers this year. And we'll go into why that's important later on in this slideshow. But knowing that you're interested now is important, and it's good because the coaches want to know that, and they want to know that people are being proactive in their registration and their signups, because it means we're going to be well prepared. And that's always what we're searching for here at NHCS. I love and will always be a stickler for communication and preparation. So hopefully that gave everybody enough time to scan in. We'll keep moving. For those of you who are fall student athletes and are planning to try out for winter, this is just a slide to recognize you all. You kind of know what it means to be a student athlete here at NHCS, and you know the work that it requires. So we're here to sort of recognize you guys at the moment. For everybody that doesn't know, or for everybody who's not in tune to our fall athletes, we have women's volleyball, women's soccer, boys soccer, and we also offer a tackle football team. All right. So, which sport do you plan to participate in this winter? Our offerings are as follows. We have boys basketball. We offer a varsity and a JV program there. We have girls basketball, which is varsity only. We have cheerleading, which is a varsity cheer squad, and we have indoor track, which is also another varsity program that we offer. Historically, we've been very successful in all of these. In the graphs in the bars that you're seeing here are the max number of kids that we can take for each of those sports. Boys basketball is obviously a little bit higher because we do offer a JV and a varsity team. Between both of those teams, we'll be taking 30 kids. For girls basketball, we're going to cap it at 14 this year. Hopefully in the coming years, we'll get enough girls interested to offer a JV program. But for right now, we've never been able to historically do that. So we're going to stick with 14 here. Cheer will be 20 and indoor track will be 30. All right. The reason why I put these numbers up is to let people know and to let kids know and to let families know that there will likely be cuts that happen this year. For boys basketball, I anticipate that we'll definitely be making cuts. For girls basketball, we might be at the point this year where we're going to need to make cuts. Cheer, based on what I saw the other day, we're probably going to have to make cuts for cheer. And indoor track, we shouldn't have to make cuts for. I like to keep those numbers high because I like there to be something for everybody to do during the winter. So indoor track is sort of that sport where we don't necessarily cut people from, but we will have travel rosters and things like that for. When I was talking about numbers before, this is what I was referring to. It's super important that we be perfect, right? Our student athletes, we need to be perfect. And when I say perfect, right, I'm not just talking about skill on the court. I'm not talking about skill on the track, those sorts of things. I'm talking about you need to be perfect grade-wise. You need to be perfect behavior-wise. And yeah, you got to have some talent too, right? we got to make sure all those things are perfect if you want to be one of those 30, if you want to be one of those 14, if you want to be one of those 20, or if you want to be one of those 30 for indoor track, right? You need to make sure everything is on point. Okay. Coaches know who's who. Coaches know who is going to be eligible in the classroom. Coaches know who's going to be eligible behaviorally, right? They're not going to want to take anybody who's in detention every day, right? So if you want to be one of those 30 and you want to step on the court every night wearing our Legend blue, right? You got to be perfect, okay? And being perfect entails filling out a registration, having an up-to-date physical that's no older than 13 months. You will upload that with your registration, right? But it also means being academically eligible, right? So I put this date on the screen and I usually ask a question because normally I'm going to be doing this talk in person, right? But the question I ask everybody is, what is the significance of this date? All right, November 10th, 2023. I don't have anybody to answer it for me, but most kids know November 10th, 2023 is the day that quarter one closes. All right. Now, why is that date so important? Right. The closing of quarter one is basically your academic eligibility cutoff. Right. If you are passing all four of your core classes, math, science, English, history, right? If you're passing all four of those on this date, that means you are eligible to try out. Okay. Tryouts start on November 27th, right? You need to be passing those four classes by this date because this is when quarter one closes to be eligible to try out. Okay. That means right now is when you have to be putting that work in to make sure you're eligible. Right. So parents who are watching this tonight, take a look at your students or your scholars power school, right? Would they be eligible today to try out if we were pulling grades today? Hopefully the answer is yes. All right. And I did a preliminary check with a lot of our athletes at the info session on Friday. Most of them are good. Some of them weren't, though. Okay. So start putting that work in now, because if you don't put that work in now, you're going to be digging yourself out of a hole that first week in November, and it's not going to feel too good. Right. And I hate telling people they can't try out. I hate telling people they aren't eligible. I've done it before. I don't like doing it. It's not why I do this job. It's not fun for me, but it's facts. All right. We really want kids to prioritize being in the classroom and getting the proper grades, right? Being a student athlete is a privilege, and student always comes first. Okay. So that's the goal here, right? We really want to make sure kids are doing what they're supposed to in the classroom before they even consider stepping on the court for us. All right. So November 10th, start putting that work in now. Hopefully we're all eligible right now, but if we're not, we got to start putting in the work to do so. Okay. Good. Must be passing all four core classes. English, math, history, and science. We went over that. And it's 70% and up unless you're on an IEP, in which case it's 65% and up. Okay. Hopefully that's pretty self-explanatory. But 70% up if you're, or sorry, 65% if you're on an IEP, and 70% and up for everybody else. All right. Should be doable. All right. And the expectation is that we carry that through for the duration of the season. Coaches will be performing checks throughout the season in regards to academic eligibility and also behavior eligibility. Like we said before, you need to be perfect, right? Got to be perfect. Your grades have got to be on point. Your registration's got to be on point. You got to have an up-to-date physical. It's a state law. Your behavior, right? And obviously, last but certainly not least, your skill level's got to be up to par. Okay. Now, if all of those things are perfect, like we talked about, you'll be fully eligible. And the day before we go on Thanksgiving break, you will receive a blue card, right? If your grades are proper, your physical's up to date, everything else looks good, you're going to get a blue card. You need to bring that blue card to your tryout date and location. Okay, those schedules will get released shortly, but you need to bring that blue card to that tryout date and location. Okay. That blue card is your ticket to try out. That lets the coach know that you are fully eligible and you are good to go. You can try out. All right. You have to present that to your coach, or else they'll tell you to grab a seat. You won't be able to participate until you have a blue card. All right. If you are half eligible, right, means maybe you're missing your physical. You didn't get an up to date physical, but you are passing all of your classes. You'll receive a yellow card. Right. You can't try out until you turn in your physical, see me, and get a blue card. Okay. You can bring your yellow card to tryouts. You won't be able to try out, right? Because you legally can't participate without a physical, right? But it lets your coaches know that you're interested and you want to be there. All right. Yellow card, still can't try out. Got to see me and get your blue card once everything is sort of in order. All right. Red card means you unfortunately aren't eligible to try out for winter athletics this year. You got to wait till next year. These are just a preview of the new jerseys for this year for boys and girls basketball. These are home uniforms. Officially in Under Armour school now, so we are in the process of switching over all of our uniforms to Under Armour. We're almost done basketball. We still have basketball and softball left, but we're getting pretty close to full Under Armour school, which is an exciting thing. These are the aways. And that is everything that I have for you guys today. Keep an eye on your emails for the registration link. Also, keep an eye on your emails for the official tryout schedule and the official game schedule, which will be live shortly. We have almost made everything official, so just waiting to hear from a few more people before I can make that live, but wanted to get you all in the loop early so we know the expectations moving into the winter season. If you have any questions, as usual, just hit me up in an email. And yeah, look forward to hearing from you all. Cannot wait to get this winter season started and hope to see you soon. Thanks.